Let's go. Oh, actually, I'm there. I see people. Yes, so join me. I'm actually there already. So join me as we discuss. I'm telling you, the threats are coming. Plenty of them in my email from when but like I said, time will tell. Join me on YouTube, Apple Worldwide. I'll appreciate having you there. Thank you so much. I am logging off here. Um, on YouTube also, like Facebook, I am monetized. You can support me there to help me. Right now, we need help, so we can go to unlimited data. So when I'm traveling, I'm driving like I do, and I want us to communicate. We will be able to communicate. So let's go there. I guess I wanted to do this show, then we come back, but again, the voice messages I want to play are on the phone my son has now. So we have to do the psycho education first and then come back to do that second. Okay. Thank you all for your presence. Thank you for your attention. I pray that you come and join me on YouTube. We were almost like 80 something here. Soon as I said, let's go and learn, everybody is gone. Come here, let's learn. That is what will help you, help your children, help your friend, help your family member. When someone is going through it, say, hey, I have heard this from somewhere. Epa talk about it. Let's go and listen. Let's go. Yes, I can help her. Or I can let her talk to Epa and see what we can, how we can get her help. That's the way to go. That's a way of life. Okay. That is a better way of life. But every day, drama, drama, drama. Sorry. It ain't gonna help you. Yeah. It's not gonna change your life. It's not gonna do anything for you. And that would be my suggestion. Sorry if I am, unfortunately. How about you? Maybe you can learn something from this. What do you think of reliant on people? What do you think about relying on people? How do you see reliance on people? Does it work for you? It hasn't been good for me if I rely on people. As you can see, I'm prepared for this show. But as you can see, being reliant on people has not helped my cause today. I came from work, I slept, I dealt with my son, we did a few things. And then I was like, okay, and here we are. Okay. All right, people on Facebook who are Apple Cora lovers, you can wait there. Goodbye. See you later. I'm going to talk to the Apple lovers on the Apple Worldwide YouTube channel. You are welcome to join us there. After that, we'll come. We have 2 shows now. Normally, I wouldn't do is 2 shows every Sunday, but today it's going to be 3 shows, 1 on YouTube and 2 here. Come and support me. Yes, those who want to stay here can stay here, but I'm going to sign out now. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Yes, thank you, my Alpha wonderful lovers. We have 12 wonderful people that are proving to me, oh, can communicate, can, you see what I'm saying? Let me know if you can put a comment, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's going on. If I don't see your comment, forgive me. If I don't see your comment, forgive me. We will finish, we will start in a minute. Let me try and see if I can, OCD. So let me see if the comment is showing. I want to read your comment, so bear with me. If I need to change something again, I don't know. This is not for children. Okay, I see. This is not for children. Okay. All right, it's not for children. Okay, so since it's not for children, we should be able to see chats, right? Okay, let's do this again. Yay! I can see your comments now. If you send a comment, I will see it. And actually, I can. Yes, I will see. We have 16 wonderful people watching, and I'm so grateful to have you here watching with me. Yes, you're watching me, Eppa. Who am I without you? I'm nobody. I am nobody. I thought I sent the thing to my email so we can use. Anyway, I'll just find another article. We can always find another article. I was prepared with a good one that was simple and straightforward. What is it? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about messaging. What is it? Let me see. Let me see. Yes, I see Miss Caroline. Hi, see? Come and get it. I was just coming to ask why it says chat disabled. Okay. Miss Joy, we got it on YouTube, right? Yes, I just got it. It's taken care of now. So now the YouTube comments are coming. I love it when I read from you. I am on, but watching from a TV channel. TV cannot comment. No worries. No worries. Okay, we are good now. We can now comment. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love when I can read from you guys. That makes it one. It's a good feeling to read from you guys. So as much as I was prepared, and now I can't even find the article, we will find a different one. I was prepared with a good one that was straightforward, simple, and I thought that was very concise. But however, we can't see it, but it's okay. It's okay. I just want you to know two things. Oh, Ivan, come, bring that phone. Let me see something. Tell your uncle to give me a minute. Let me see something. When I was preparing, I should have sent it to WhatsApp. I sent it to my email, knowing I'm going to use the computer. Why? No, you are going to. Hold on, I have it here. Yeah, I have it. I just want to send it to my email and make sure it's there. Then I'll give it to him. And then I can even go to send mails out here and then send. Okay, good. Here, I'm okay. I don't want this to be too long. That's why. I want the same article. So what is OCD? OCD is an obsession compulsive disorder. It is also a disorder that falls under the anxiety disorder category. Reason being that as a result of anxiety, OCD triggers anxiety in you. It makes you to be uncomfortable. It makes you to be worried about how people will perceive you. Or would I not sound crazy if I'm telling people constantly this and that and that, and I'm persistently telling people the same thing over and over again? It's on. Good evening, Mamly. Good evening, Miss Grant. Thank you. Oh, hi, Miss Haina. Oh, no, Miss Linda. Sorry, Miss Linda. Thank you so much, Miss Jacqueline. Thank you, Miss Taylor, Miss Johnson. Thank you all so very much. You are my true EPA gangsters, and I love you guys, and I know you love me too. That's why you are here to support. Yes, OCD is an obsessive disorder, but also it has compulsion. So reason why most of the time we say treat these conditions with CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, is because that we have a cognition aspect of the disorder, and we have a behavior as a result of the cognition, how you are thinking, it triggers a behavior, and the behavior in this case becomes compulsion. What you are thinking and become possessed with it and obsessed with it, and in your mind is a belief, causes you to behave certain way, to act certain way, and that is where the compulsion comes in. So most of the time, behavior therapy is important to help you to really understand that, is these things you are thinking really realistic? Is that even possible? If not, then what are some of the replacement behaviors you can put in place to get rid, help you cope better, and help you not to be anxious? Oh, my house is burning down. Well, let that obsession. My house is burning down. Oh my God. Oh my God. And you're in the middle of the traffic and you have to come back. Oh my God. So you are terrified, you are anxious, you right away switch into the panic mode. You see how it goes? The thought, the obsession triggers you to get into a panic mode. As a result of getting into that panic mode, it affects you. You'll be late to work now because you have to make a U-turn and go home. The house is burning, the house is burning. So the behavior now is as a result of the altered perception. You're now going home. You're now stuck in traffic. You're now going to be late. You come home. Oh, not again. It's not on after all. Gosh. So what are you going to do to keep you in check? See what I'm saying? Hi, Miss Joy. I thought it was something I was doing wrong. No, it was here. It was the settings. I've been struggling with these things. My spouse has been diagnosed with obsessive compulsive personality disorder in one section of the NPI last week. What is NPI? NPI, I mean, I don't know, but NPI is like, for me, I need NPI number in order to treat you. So I don't know what NPI is, but obsessive compulsive personality disorder is different from obsessive compulsive disorder. We have the personality is different from, or maybe it's the same. Let me look at it. The personality and this can be the same, but let's look at it. Obsessive compulsive personality disorder versus OCD. I definitely think there should be a difference because one is personality, one is not. OCD is ruled by intrusive thoughts called obsessions, which is what I was explaining when we just log on. That causes anxiety and forces the person to perform compulsive, the beliefs, the things, the thought, what the thought is coming with, it forces them to act it out. Because the thought is telling your house is burning down because you left the iron on. You left water on the fire. You left the food on the fire. The food is burning. The house is burning. That is the obsession. And your mind is combating and making you to feel that these are true feelings. These are honest realities. As a result, it forces you to behave certain way, to go and act to stop that. And that brings anxiety, panic, distress. However, obsessive compulsive disorder is ruled out by perfectionism, and detailed. Unlike individuals with OCD, people with obsessive compulsive personality disorder are not self-aware and can hurt the person around them. So obsessive compulsive personality disorder, I was right. It is a personality. You that you are doing this thing don't realize it. This can be very bad if you have bipolar, if you have schizophrenia, and you are very depressed in a manic state. Because it can tell you, go kill somebody, and you will do it. There is a few weeks ago, literally a month ago, this is very recent, in New York, something tower in New York City, a man, a Ghanaian, stabbed their wife 20-something times and took her life. At the end of the day, they are saying that he has a mental health disorder. So maybe he has a mental health disorder that is not diagnosed. So when the thoughts come, they were shielding it. You know, the African community, the wife is probably don't want people to see. They are trying to stride there. I have my colleague tell me how he has a nurse coming to him. The nurse is really having hearing voices, and she's still working as a nurse. Do you know how dangerous that is for the people that she takes care of? But because she's not prepared for retirement, her age, she's not a retirement age, and things like that, she can afford life. So she's trying to get by getting medication and also requesting a time off from work while she can still maintain some income coming in. How do you do that as a provider? It's hard. It becomes an ethical situation. So obsessive compulsive disorder and obsessive compulsive personality disorder is two different things. We can talk about that if you want, since we are in this category. We can talk about this next week, actually. We are in this category. So I'll do a part 2 maybe for this, so we can talk about it next week. Okay. Understand that perfectionism, yes. Narcissistic personality inventory. Yes, those people with obsessive compulsive personality disorder, it can be a dangerous thing that they can harm people around them. They themselves are not aware of the things. But of OCD, you are aware. You are aware there is a distress. You are aware the distress is causing you panic, anxiety. And as a result, you respond in certain way, you do certain things, if that makes sense. I am well, Miss Bowie. I am well. It's always a pleasure to have you, Miss Bowie. Thank you, Miss Kani. It can be a disappointment. It can be a disappointment. Both can overlap. Oh, yes. And that is why if you follow me a lot, I tell you that you have to be very, very careful if you go to as a provider, because these conditions overlaps, but there is always a way to do what? Differential diagnosis. That is why we do differential diagnosis. You have to do differential diagnosis through your assessment. You see, as I've told you, one is personality, one is this way. One is hurting somebody. The other is just the obsession comes and then it results in the compulsion. So your behavior will be noticeable. You yourself also realizes that the stress your thought is causing you. However, when it comes to the personality, understand that most of the time people with this personality disorder don't even realize that they are causing pain to somebody, if that makes sense. So it can overlap, but no, there's a big difference in the two. So if you want to join me, these are the things. Sign up, people. Send some stars here. You can send stars here too. You can say some stars in Facebook. Try and go to Facebook. I think we have a subscription back. Join that. I will start doing something like this. I'll do it in the master class. So you sign up and you join. So you can come in with everybody in your family, your friends, people that you think it will help them to, like a refresher course, so they can apply it in their care of their clients. You bring them on. Family members that probably could be suffering from this, you bring them on. So it helps them to understand their condition. OCD and OCPD is two different things. Do they have certain things that can overlap? Yes, but the personality can overlap like that. Okay, there is definitely a way of differentiating it. And we can go into that next week. Unfortunately, people can be unreliable and they can't be dependable. I have today, a typical example is today, we are getting to, and today I was ready on time. We are getting to a 1 hour bracket, but because Mamle depended on her son, we I don't know how far we can get with anything, you know. And this is not close to even charging for us to say we are going to use it when I finish with this one, so we can come and do. See, 23%. How would 23% do any show when I finish from here? It won't. It won't. Let me try and see if I can position that on the chart before we finish our YouTube one. Hopefully, it stays charged. I don't know. People, life is not good today. Life is not treating me well with my gadgets. Okay. All right. Oh Lord. Okay, are you using your charger? I don't know why the chargers are not. Oh God. I have all these chargers and they are not working. This is ridiculous. Okay, let me see this. Finally. Finally. Okay, people. And I don't have my belt on, so you see my sexy dress, but it's okay. Yes, so you see there's totally a difference between the personality one and the OCD itself, okay? They're turning it off while it charges. Okay, let me turn it off. Okay. All right, so it's charging. Let's pray and hope that will take care of it, because we need a fully charged tablet for the 2 shows we're going to have on Facebook. I wanted to do one, then we come and do this, then we go back and do social media trending. But unfortunately, I don't have the ability to, so we're going to make this work, okay? So anyway, we're talking about obsessive compulsive disorder. I have explained somewhat to an extent what the obsession is and what the compulsion is. The obsession is your thought process. The obsession is what your brain is telling you that is happening. And it's a false, the brain is bugging and is persistently forcing you to believe that this is what the situation is. As a result, you get into the panic mode, the flight and fight response, right? The anxiety mode. What do I do about it? Oh, let me go back home and turn it off, the oven off, the stove off. Let me do this, let me do that. That becomes the compulsion. As a result of your brain lying to you, you have a responsive behavior coming with it. So how do you deal with these situations? Pretty much 2 things. CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, that will help you understand it. They work with you to really figure out, are these thoughts realistic? Do you think is the fact? If not, how do you work around it? Maybe since this is becoming the norm and I'm always, it's causing me to, it's affecting my work because I'm always late. I'm always having to drive back in the middle of the road of me going halfway to work, and I'm always late and it's affecting me. What do I do? Maybe find a family member that will call you when you are leaving home. Set the alarm of the time the person should call you. So when that time comes, the person is on the phone with you. Okay, I'm leaving. So these are some of things you can do. You understand? Really, there are so many things you can do. But I go with realistic things when I'm teaching my clients. What are the most realistic things? Do you have a family member? Do you have somebody who can look out for you? You have somebody who can call you at this point and be like, hey, you're leaving now? Okay, Are you going to the door? Okay, so just go and make sure your stove is not on, your how do you call it, your iron is not on. Okay, and you think these things are not, you think they are mere things, but this you do understand. When it comes to behavior therapy, what you think, you don't even think as something that would be helpful. Those are the things that are helpful. I want things that are realistic versus trying to go and pull down a theorist whole theory and be reading it to you when it's not realistic. But these are coping ways that are so realistic that if you have a friend, you have a son, you have a daughter, you have somebody who understands you have this condition, and you do need to go to work and you do need to be on work on time, what can we do to help mom out? What can we do to help pop out? What can I do to help my son out? Right? You are going to take an exam. You're obsessed with the thought of failure. You're obsessed with the thought of failure. Is it even realistic? What do you do to prepare yourself to not think that you will fail? There is no way you will prepare effectively for an exam and you go and you fail. You see what I'm saying? So it can become an obsession. A lot of things can become an obsession that makes you be preoccupied thinking about these things. And as a result, it affects your day-to-day health. Okay. So let's try and get into it. Okay. So OCD, which is called in the mental health profession as obsessive compulsive disorder. We're not talking about obsessive compulsive personality disorder. We're talking about obsessive compulsive disorder. That it is a condition, a mental health condition that is consisting of two things. The obsession part, which is the intrusive, unwanted, and repetitive thoughts that urges you to do something, urges you to believe something is existent, that gives you some mental pictures like, oh, my house is burning down. Is it realistic? How is this house burning down? What is causing it to burn down? You see what I'm saying? So then the mental picture is giving you becomes terrifying. As a result, you want to stop that picture. You want to do something to stop the process, stop what is going on, calling police and letting them come to the site when it's not even realistic. You wake up from bed, terrified, in panic, shivering, with sweating all over the place, thinking the house is actually burning down because you went to bed leaving your food on fire. All those things can cause those kind of distress, and it's persistent. According to the DSM-5, the criteria is that in every single day of your life, you spend at least 1 hour doing this thing. The obsessive thoughts persistently remains for at least 1 hour in a day. This is a criteria to diagnose you with OCD. Okay, so the images that don't go away and are generally unwanted or ego what? Dystonic and or compulsion. So obsessive compulsion. And the compulsive part is repetitive physical behaviors or mental acts performed. Your mental act, the things you were preoccupied thinking about, you now start performing them. You understand? Meant to reduce, and you are performing them. Why are you performing them? Because you want to reduce what the anxiety related to the thoughts, the causative anxiety caused by the obsession, by the thoughts. You want to reduce them. Typical themes include contamination or cleaning. You know, people, every time you think about it, people want to go to they want the house to be squeaky clean, or they feel like they are germophobics and they are always, phobia is an anxiety disorder. So whatever is associated with phobia, specific phobia, cleanliness, germs, we are germophobic, it is a phobia. That can also come with obsessive compulsive disorder. And in mental health, majority of people with obsessive compulsive disorder, they have anxiety, they have depression, some have panic disorders. So they are not alone, which is why when it comes to treatment with medication, there is this medication, TC tetracycline, that gets used. However, They said the side effects are so massive. So for recent years, what is being used is the same antidepressant, SNRIs, that are being used to treat anxiety and depression. Those are the same things used to treat OCD. However, in high doses, okay, in high doses. Typical themes include contamination or cleaning, checking, like we're talking about, checking the iron, checking your stove, checking stuff. Is the door locked? You go, oh, I forgot, I didn't lock my door. You come back 100 times trying to lock the same door. Checking, and then symmetry, ordering or counting, like counting money or counting something. You don't think you are good enough in counting. So you come back, constantly go back trying to count it, to be accurate in counting it. As well as fears of harm to oneself or someone else. Obsessions can also be violent, sexual, or religious in nature. You see how people, even political, you can be obsessed with a political party that you, in fact, harm somebody because of that. You go to Ghana, when it comes to politics, and it comes to periods when they are voting. The sad news is, soon as the politicians get your vote, they go back and join their life, distributing the society assets to themselves, right? The public funds, it becomes their pocket, it's in their pocket. And the people that are pulling knives and guns on the streets, obsessed with each other, hungry, no jobs, and slaughtering each other up. A lot in recent years, we have a lot of Ghanaians. Some don't have arms and legs right now as we talk because of their obsession and affiliation with the political party. So it can be religious in nature. That is why I keep telling you guys, I want to be free. I want the freedom of life. You want freedom of speech. I want freedom of life in addition to freedom of speech. I don't want to be, I do believe that I want to associate with witnesses, because that is what I practice, whether I'm a witness or not. That's what I know. However, I don't want a situation whereby I'll be judging somebody and not want to deal with them because they are divorced, or they are pregnant out of wedlock, or I don't want to be judging somebody because of my religion, if that makes sense. So I want to be free. So I'm not obsessed with religion. I'm not obsessed with people. I'm just a healthy, normal person. Yes, I have my own struggles that may not necessarily be yours. But yes, that is just life. Learn how to turning it off while it charges. Yeah, I did that. Jamaica, the same, unfortunately. Jamaica, the same, unfortunately. I'm not sure if I understand you, Miss Grant. You understand? For some reason. Okay, yeah. Okay. So the repetitive behavior, such as hand washing, checking on things, or cleaning, can significantly interfere with a person's daily activities and social interaction, which I was explaining. You go into work, you will always be late because of the compulsion and obsession that comes with it. As a result of the obsession, this is what's happening. Now I have to drive back home and this is a compulsion. Obsession here is the brain, compulsion here is the behavior. Get it that way, so that if you are seeking therapy, you know how, when the obsession start coming, ask yourself, how can you control it so that compulsion don't comes in? Especially you are with your friends, you are eating in a restaurant, and you just think that everything there is dirty. So you live in constantly going to the bathroom to wash your hands and come. In fact, the bathroom is even not clean. So you going to the bathroom to wash your hands and still touch everything else and come back. How is that making it your hands clean, really? Think about it. Hello, Miss Nats. You see what I'm saying? Fighting over politics. Yes, fighting over politics is it's the same in Jamaica too. I'm telling you, the leaders go, they enjoy. You give them your vote, they go, they enjoy. and they don't worry about you, your job, nothing. However, you are busy losing your leg and your arm. It's better to be poor and be healthy than to be poor and become somebody that have a spinal injury because somebody stabbed your spinal nerve, your cervical spine, and as a result, you have become, in Ghana, you're talking about, in Jamaica, in Nigeria, you're talking about, you now become paralyzed. You are sitting at one place and you're going to have pressure ulcer. You don't even have you see how at least I can put on my oil, and my skin can be like this. You don't even though you have the shea butter, you don't even have somebody to turn you and release pressure off the butt and rub it so that you don't end up with pressure ulcer. Once you have the pressure ulcer, do you know how much it costs people in America to treat pressure ulcers? This is why when you come to the Quality Assurance Commission, this is what they do. If a person comes to the hospital and they gain pressure ulcer in the hospital, it becomes the hospital's burden to treat it with their own funds. It costs a lot of money. And you are in Africa, you are fighting politicians, your fellow poor person, for a politician to go and sit on the throne and become rich by himself and his family. Think about it. Is that what you really want to do? The ball is in your court. So don't be so obsessed that will cause you to have a compulsive behavior as a result of your obsession. You want to kill somebody for your party to stand tall. How about you stand tall by looking out for yourself, your income, your job? I can go and hustle and come if I still have my legs and my arms. But now that you are paralyzed because somebody shot you fighting politicians, they are your opponents. Now you can go and come, and the politician would not leave the throne to come and do what for you? And feed you, change your diaper, apply that butt cream for you, give you food to eat. Now you be there, make wise choices. That's what I'm saying. When you're on Facebook, sometimes identify places you will go and maintain some kind of sanity versus just going to everybody's platform and ingesting hate, animosity, venom being ingested and pushing you to go and cause somebody harm. Ask yourself, how healthy is that to you? You can hate that person today, but unless you find the next person to hate them constantly, how happy is your life going to be? If hating somebody is what makes you stay relevant and happy, then you finish hating everybody, and the minute you don't find your next target, you become depressed, you become anxious, you become frustrated, you're going to have serious mental health disorder that nobody can help you resolve it but yourself. So you have to start learning to undo toxic behaviors within yourself. Your associations, your affiliations is important. Many people without OCD have distressing thoughts. So, hey, it comes with us daily. Remember, mental health comes with our daily lives. Or repetitive behaviors, it comes with us. However, these thoughts and behaviors do not typically disrupt daily life. But when somebody have OCD, the obsessive thoughts disrupts their daily life. Would you say that once in a while, oh, I can't find my key? Once in a while, did I put all the thing on the fire? But then when every single day, according to the DSM-5, the diagnostic manual, you are spending 1 hour each day to worry about these obsessive thoughts, these compulsive behaviors, then you have to start thinking, what can I do to resolve this? What can I do to help myself? If every day you can't sleep, next minute you wake up, you are worrying about which platform is talking about sister in the Lord, you are not healthy. In fact, you need to start worrying about what can I do to detox myself of this obsession and start calming down and know that sister in the Lord will be okay. And I have to give you that assurance. She is going to be okay. Truthfully, she's going to be okay. She has a lawyer. The opponent don't have a lawyer. How is that going to work against her? Think about it. Think about it. The custody order you are seeing, somebody else put it in place as a request. It's not ordered. Get it? So it's you that you have to stay healthy and detox yourself of these obsessions. And think of your associations. And your associations comes with your associations in personal life, on social media, and what are you doing to gain sanity? Think about that, okay? Many people with OCD know or suspect their obsessions are not realistic. You see the difference between the personality, obsessive compulsive personality disorder. They don't know, but the person with OCD, they know. They say what? Many people with OCD or say obsessive compulsive disorder know or suspect their obsessions are not realistic. With OCD, have difficulty disengaging from obsessive thoughts and stopping the compulsive actions. So they suspected that it could not be real, it could not be true. However, they also don't know how to do what? To separate it. And that is where it becomes distressful for them. You understand? And this is how come they have to learn behaviors that will help them constantly keep them in check. Which is why I'm giving you a more basic, realistic example of coping and of support system using somebody to help you leave that house and not come back in the middle of driving to work, in the middle of going to a place. Tell as a trusted person of your appointments of the day so that they will call you and say, oh, today you have doctor's appointment at 11. You leave in the house 10:30. Okay, so are you ready? Go and check this, go and check that. Is the oven off? Is it okay? So what do you do? Now you lock out. You get out, you lock your door. Now, as you are going, you know somebody checked with you. So as a result of somebody checking with you, you can be wrong. So you don't have to be going back home, thinking about it and say, I'm going back home to put off fire or put off heat or put off oven or what's the name? Iron. You see what I'm saying? A diagnosis of OCD requires, pay attention to this, it requires that the person presence of obsessions and or compulsions that are time consuming, and that is more than 1 hour per day. So the obsessive and the compulsive thoughts, thoughts and the behavior, it's happening it's taking at least 1 hour of your day out of your 24 hours in a day. It causes significant distress. As soon as you thought about it, like I explained earlier, the panic comes in, the anxiety comes in. That's where the distress comes in. You are driving, your palm begin to sweat, begin to perfuse. Oh my God, what can I do? Oh my God, I hope I get there. And you are talking to yourself, you're saying these things. This is very damaging. An overwhelming obsession with celebrities. Yes. Miss Linda said something that is important. Like in Ghana, I feel like one person that people are so obsessed with is Nana Mama Brown. People love her extensively, like people are so obsessed with her. On our social media space, people are so obsessed with horror. I understand that. Excessive obsession that you are sleeping, you're thinking about them. Think about it. It's not healthy. You have to learn how to love a person and not let the love you have for them affect your day-to-day life. Think about it. Okay? It causes significant stress and impair work and social functioning. I said that. Your friends are meeting you at a time, everybody's waiting, they have ordered food, they wait, there's a specific time the food is coming to the table. In the middle of going, you have to come back home to check your obsession. Coming back home is the compulsion, the behavior, to come and correct your obsession. Master, how is that going to help your life? How is that going to affect so now you go back and you don't want to talk about it, and you don't want stigma to be affiliated with it. So now you can't even tell them that, oh my God, I have this obsession, or I'm dealing with this. Can you believe I had to return home and the oven wasn't even on like I thought? And this becomes consistent. Every time there is a social gathering, you will be late because of this issue. Every single time you have to go out on a date, you are late because of this. How is that going to help you? OCD is a serious mental health disorder that makes people's life, miserable living, if I should, for the lack of the appropriate words. You will not think that these things are serious, but they are. Depending on how it's, this is, when I was talking with the lady, unfortunately, I called her to join us on Facebook and we couldn't finish that, but we'll go back to it if my son finishes using it. Pookie, the phone is on the charger with you, right? Okay. You see, these things can cause serious distress. Hi, Miss Tanya. How are you? Thank you so much for coming by. You understand? You are sleeping, and you are obsessed with the trauma. You are obsessed with the thought that the person said they will kill you, and you are thinking about it. Understand, the obsession comes in different forms. It's not just the cleanliness, the oven, the this, the that. There is so many test anxiety. There is so many things that can cause you to have obsession. When you are preoccupied thinking about it and it's becoming stressful and it's causing you to feel worried and drained about the event or about the incident, about the situation, you are preoccupied thinking about this event that is going to happen. The person wants to kill you. The person wants to kill you. They are not killing you yet, but they have said it many times. What are you still sitting there doing? I work with someone with OCD. He is impossible to work with. You get it? You hear it for yourself. He is always reporting everyone. They are paranoid. They have paranoia. They're always thinking somebody's out to get them. It's just like having being schizophrenic or being manic, having a manic episode. Constantly reporting somebody. For what? You see? So now your work-life relationship becomes impaired. Somebody that your co-workers, everybody is working on shelves around you because they don't know what to say that will cause you to go and report them for something. Nobody can be free around you. Think about it. My goodness, I had to tell him one day to put his big girl's pant on. See what I'm talking about? You understand? So everybody will see you as immatured. It affects your work-life relationship. It affects your social interactions. It can affect your life in so many different ways. You see what I'm saying? It can cause significant distress, impair your work and social functioning. OCD affects 2 to 3% of people in the United States alone. And among adults, slightly more women than men. We are always affected, people. You are the one that is a germophobic. You are the one that want every place clean and squeaky clean. You are the one that want everything spotless. That person come, the other person come, stretch on the couch, turn on their shoes, like snake. Wherever they meet, they release their whatever there, their shell, their skin there. Shake it off and keep it moving, right? And you are compulsively picking. Listen, be realistic for 1 minute. Be realistic for a second. Have you visited somebody else's house? Have you found out how they live? Think about it. Understand, there is normalcy and there is social media presentation. Strike the two differences. He gets so obsessed with who is answering the phones. If you are 1 minute late, he will write a long email complaint. You get it? They are obsessed with time. They are time sensitive. Think about it. There are people that are obsessed with African women. For some reason, and like this particular person we're talking about, I even can affiliate that, because a person that picked let's look at this way. When this person, Summer, right now she's not like my favorite blogger, but let me tell you, when she talk about the category of persons that this dude goes after, the obsession with a specific physics, the obsession with going after a specific group of people that I can have control over, I can manipulate them. It's an obsession of a specific, I tell you, the way sister dresses is an obsession for him. I use this word in description many times already. So just that I don't want to bring it here. It fits in what I'm describing. Obsession. As a result of the obsession, you want her to project her way of life this way, except don't show their nipple. And something else she said also, is an obsession. Compulsion is there. What you see, the obsession is here. The compulsion is what you do and what society or a third party, someone outside you sees. Okay. OCD often begins where? Childhood, adolescence, or early adulthood. The average age symptoms appear is what? 19 years old. So when I'm teaching about adverse childhood experiences, I'm teaching about this thing, I understand that they can impact your ability to develop a different range, a wide range of mental health disorders. A whole lot of different mental health disorders. A whole variety of mental health disorders. Adverse childhood experiences, parental alienation, psychological manipulation, psychological grooming of our children to hate their other parents can cause some of these things. The child become obsessed with hatefulness, obsessed with unhealthy feelings, obsessed with unhealthy thoughts, obsessed that somebody don't like them, and the only way to be happy is to go after them, to always be ready to gun people down, be already ready to hate, be already ready to hurt somebody in order to stay happy and relevant. It is an obsession. How do you desist from it so that these kids we have become healthy adults? How? Obsessions are recurrent and persistent thoughts, impulses, and images, like I described earlier, that cause distressing emotions such as anxiety or disgust. When you have the anxiety, you become angry at yourself. You feel, then you go and see that the obsession, the things you were thinking about, by the time you drove all the way back into the house, it's not even that way. Now you feel disgusted at yourself. You feel angry at yourself. God, when? You see the distressful thoughts, how the distressful thoughts is causing your life. Unpleasant life is the result. Many people with OCD recognizes that, okay, I think I read the other and it's still kind of repetitive. So let's move on from here. However, the distress caused by these intrusive thoughts cannot be resolved by logic or reasoning. You see that? Childhood traumas, yes, adverse childhood experiences, childhood traumas can cause this a lot. When a child says, I'm having nightmares, they can't sleep. You think why? Because of the thoughts, obsession, they are premeditated. You have a child wake up screaming and yelling, don't hurt me, or something, because that's all they know. They've heard, they process it. Think about it. My friend is Obsessed with germs. That's one of the most common ones. Not sure what happened, but she wasn't always like this. COVID has made it worse. COVID has triggered a lot of mental health disorders. Those that were hidden, that were not previously diagnosed, are now out and being diagnosed. Those that were there already are now complicated and on make it more difficult to cope with. Which is why the government, I don't know about your country, but my country, I'm blessed to be here in the United States. This year has put in a lot of money into mental health. Even the schools, like my school, the school my son is going, one of my sons go, I'm sure even the high schooler, they're now going to have a therapist in the school providing services for the kids. I am tired of the obsessions with his wallet, bank account, home surveillance systems. I feel like I'm in jail. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So imagine living with somebody like that. That becomes your burden because their obsession, but now is going to be affecting you. So it affects relationships. It affects work, social life. It affects work life. You know, how healthy can that be for you? Can you imagine? I feel sorry, but I feel sorry that you have to deal with that, Miss Caroline. They don't feel safe. So they are obsessed. Somebody is coming to hurt, constantly paranoid. Someone is stealing from them. I was at work just last week, and somebody got up and, somebody just took $4,000 out of my account. Oh my goodness. And then whilst we were there, they asked a question and everybody was answering, and she was, oh, you make me anxious now. I'm getting anxious. And she will talk about that, being anxious loudly. And the next minute, she said she has to. So we did all this within 2 hours. Different things were happening to this lady. You can imagine, very sweet and pleasant lady. I just love her spirit. She's so kind, but who knows what she could be dealing with? Hello, Miss Stephanie. Thank you so much for coming here. The true apple lovers are here. Let's gain knowledge and help ourselves, and then go to those who want to just be fed with the drama. We can, which my content is usual, even though it's so trending, it's still educative anyway. You understand? Most people with obsession try to ease the distress of the. Most people with the thoughts, they try to ease with the OCD or the thoughts. They try to ease the obsession with compulsions. They ignore or suppress their obsessions or distract themselves with some other activity, which is what is most important. You can ask yourself, what can I do to distract myself from these thoughts? Because unlike somebody with OCPD and they don't know that this is what they are presenting with, someone with OCD does have some knowledge that this is my condition. Now, what do you do to be proactive and distract yourself, your thought process, your perception, your obsession away from letting it occupy you so much to the extent where you start acting it? Then you start doing the compulsions that comes with it. At Caroline, that's really hard, especially if you hate being watched like me. Yes, listen, you guys, I have some of you here, like me. If I tell you how I live here, I'm not saying it because it's public, but I'm telling you, I like to be free. I keep telling you that. It can be difficult having to live constantly under the microscope like that. Can't find anyone looking over my shoulders. Yes. Like me, even when you want to hug me, I find hugging as an intimate act. So I have to be comfortable with you to hug you or for you to hug me. I don't want people just seeing me and think it's okay to embrace me. No. Boundaries, people. Miss Denise said, Yes, finally it's fixed. I can now chat. Yes, yes, yes. I love to read from you. I'm glad you could. A lot of children are traumatized by COVID and the death of family members. Oh, yes. The center I volunteer at provides help for children who have presented signs of trauma. Fact. People can be obsessed with their weight and appearance. Yes. Yes. So when I'm talking about this thing, understand it's so many aspects of life that you can be obsessed with. You understand? I told you guys, me, I'm going to do tummy tuck, right? I said like joke, joke. I would do it, but I'm not obsessed with it where it affects my dressing. No, I dress how I want to. I just want to dress and fit, be able to, I'm not obsessed with how I look. Mm-mm. If I am, girl, I will be showing up on Facebook however I want to. Maybe if we rebrand one day, but not with this, my busy life, I have to be worried so much. No, that's why I want to, when I'm doing social media trending, fine. But when I'm on YouTube, which is my professional platform, and when I sign up, I'm going to connect my business page, which is Kara Manual Behavioral Health Services, Kara Manual BHS on Facebook. It's my business page. I'm going to connect that one to this one so that I can connect it. So this teaching otherwise would have also presented there. Think about it. If you haven't followed me there yet, kindly do. Kara Manual Behavioral Health Services or Kara Manual BHS. Let me see if I can type it in the comment section. Okay. Yeah. Oh, look at me. Look up this page on Facebook. Okay. This page on Facebook. I don't know. And follow me on there. I'll be back in a bit. That's fine. I'm so glad I found you. I don't see you on Facebook or Instagram. I am on Facebook and Instagram, Miss Daphne. Miss Daphne, I'm on Facebook. I'm glad. Miss Daphne, why? Why can't you find me on Facebook or Instagram? This is the Instagram account. These are the two Instagram accounts, the business account and this one. Yeah, so I don't see why you shouldn't see me on Instagram or Facebook. I am on Facebook. In fact, does anyone know how to change the settings for this page? We can't get notifications. Yeah, I need help with that, people. If you know how to do it, let me know so that I will be able to get the notification badge on so that when you subscribe, you turn on the notification and then you get to see when I come on live. All right, so help me out, people. I'm technologically challenged, but we will still do our best and keep it moving. Okay. All right. So most people with OCD, we talk about that they try to use what they try to ignore, they try to suppress, they try to distract themselves with other activities. Typical obsessions. Let's go into this. Typical examples of obsessions. Fear of getting contaminated by people or the environment. That is one of the commonest ones. Share the video. If you can share it to the Facebook page, EPA Worldwide for me too, that would be great. Because right now, let me see if I can do that. You understand? Those are the typical ones, the common ones. But think about it though. Ask yourself this question for me. Okay. What's going on? Okay, I see it. Okay. So I posted the link on the page. Hopefully people see it to join. Yeah, hopefully someone they look, they see and join. So you see what I'm saying? What are you doing to distract yourself from that thought, that constant thought of these things? The thought that this is someone who contaminates you. Like imagine those days when people have HIV in Africa and it's so common. I tell you, you are always living in panic that, hey, how do somebody touch you? If somebody touch you, then you're going to have it. Or and people have unrealistic understanding of it. Like even if you touch them, they're going to get it. Even if you talk to them, they're going to get it. You see how OCD can affect people and put fear and panic in them. Are they realistic? Another one is disturbing sexual thoughts and or images. Example, this can also be related to with PTSD of somebody who had been is suffering from rape syndrome. Somebody has raped them or defiled them and stuff like that. Hi, Miss Joy. You see what I'm saying? Look at what Miss Linda said, Miss Linda Beckins. Your obsessions can come in different forms. Look at what Miss Caroline is going through with somebody, an intimate partner. Imagine living with somebody that don't have documentation and they are preoccupied. Imagine living with somebody who want their student loan paid and they are obsessed with the pay. Go, go, go. So because of their student loan, you have to go, 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 go and be presenting constantly on social media. So they can be using the money, pimping you and using the money. Obsession can come in different forms. And you have been an example how it has affected somebody's relationship. The obsession of my student loan. So go, go, go. My student loan. You see, the obsession is my student loan has to be paid. The distressing thought that comes with it. As a result, go, go, go. Think about it. I don't get notification as well. I just came straight to YouTube to find you. Good, thank you. I don't get, oh, I'm sorry. We have to really get better. I don't know. People, if you know how to deal with this, let me know. I need help. I've been trying to figure out it all week last week. I couldn't. Go to the top right hand corner where there is bell. Click on that for your notification. That's what I thought should be happening. Everybody should be able to turn on the notification from their end. You know, I'm going to use a different page that doesn't have my account there to see if I can see, because I have a different, you know, so this one, if I click, it's there, people. It's there. When you click on subscribe, soon as you click subscribe, next to it, there's a bell there. Click that bell and it will tell you notification. So you said the last one said none, top one said all. That's how it works, people. It's there. The bell is there. So really, the notification part is coming from your end. If you go to my page, Google on YouTube, put in EPA Worldwide. When my page come up, click subscribe. When you click subscribe, it will show you the bell next to the subscribe button. When it's red, you click subscribe, it goes gray. Next to the gray is a bell. Push on that bell and then click all. So you click all, that will be the setup for you, so that every time I load anything or come live, or I even schedule an event, which I need to be scheduling it this ahead of time. Next week, we will do a part 2 of this, so that we will do what I think is Miss Caroline, obsessive compulsive personality disorder. We will do that. We will compare the two so that people understand the difference between the two. One is an obsession. Yes, one is an obsession combined with personality. One, you are aware, the patient is aware, person is aware of it. One, they are not necessarily aware of it. So we are going to strike the difference next week. So I think now that I know I didn't plan on doing this, but we will add the personality factor into this next week. So instead of having 7 weeks of this phase we are entering now, this is part 1 of 7. It's going to be part 1 of 8. Read what Miss Jacqueline said, Miss Houghton. It's just that, Miss Houghton, I think I even had a teacher. One of his teachers has the same last name of yours. You understand? So you go there, you click the red button, that's subscribe to my channel. After you subscribe, the subscribe turn from red to gray. Then next to it is a bell. Click on that bell and click all. And that's how you're going to get a notification when I come online. Thank you, Miss Caroline. I appreciate you with the $20. So you see, Miss Caroline has shown me love. The same, you can do it. It's right there under the, you can send any amount you want. Even if you want to send me $1, send it, okay? All right, eventually, I think everybody will get it and will start coming. All right, just put it, send it. If you're able to, those who said they are not getting notification, do that. Do what Ms. Jacqueline said, because I came to a different account and I was able to do that. The notification is there. I don't turn it on for you. You have to do it. So please do that, okay? All right. And I appreciate you doing that. Let's get into it so we can go to our social media trending and do that lady's video for her. Disturbing sexual thoughts and images. Fear of blurting out what? Or insults. People who don't have filter. So you are obsessed, pre-thinking of, you have this condition. You don't have filter. You are obsessed with and preoccupied with, oh God, I don't want to embarrass myself in public. I don't want to blurt up and say. So that is this one. Blurting out your obscenities. Hey, English language. Obscenities or insults. You insult a lot. So you are really like me. Something about me is that I know I can insult sometimes. However, I insult because I feel like, yes, I have to insult somebody. I have to put some sense in somebody. But I'm not preoccupied with worrying about how you perceive me if I insult. If that makes sense. I know some people will be many are disappointed, like, oh, how can you be insulting Mamle? Your personality, you don't look like somebody that can insult. You don't look like somebody that can, oh no, you step on the wrong toe, you're gonna get it. Yes. But I'm not obsessed with how you perceive me when I do that. Because those who love me know that that is not what I do on a day-to-day basis, but I do have a trigger. You trigger me, it's my responsibility to either not mind you, avoid you, ignore you, or say something to you. And it depends on how I look at it. I will say something or ignore, or I know how to do all of it. But sometimes too, I will come out and insult. I do get the notification because I clicked on the subscribe and the bell. There you go. There you go. So Miss Linda did get the notification. Those who want to get it, that's how you get a notification. You click on the bell. You click on subscribe first, then you click on the bell next. But if you don't subscribe to the channel, you are more likely not to get the notification. Click on the subscribe, the red, it turns to gray on the right, so now gray, and on the right hand corner it's a bell. Click on that bell and that is your notification. You choose which one, none, all, or select which one. And I think you should be selecting all. Really, that's the best way to go. And we have 27 people watching, so I bet you have also liked this video. I would appreciate if you do. That helps with the algorithm. Okay. Today, really, this is not an extensive topic, and I thought we could go in and out, but everything started bad. So unfortunately, it's an extended video again. Fear of letting our answers, I talk, or obsession, obscenities, or insults. We said that, and also extreme concerns with others. Again, we have this going on. My EPA people, we have this going on. Extreme concern with others. Symmetry and what? Precision. You are here, you are worrying about your symmetry, your body, your physics, and you are so concerned about sister in the Lord that she's all over the place, eating healthy, trying her best, though she's struggling with her situation. You are so obsessed with it that you are beginning to have this stress about it, that you can't even come and learn. And when you come, we have to turn the learning period into a topic related to sister. That is an obsession. That is not healthy. Think about it. Recurrent intrusive thoughts of sounds, images, words, or numbers. I have a client that does not meet the PTSD criteria. She thought she has PTSD, but does not meet the PTSD criteria because there is no actual trauma in the process. But the obsession that is going to happen, the obsession that when we went, there was a fire, people, insider threat, people that are identified as the insiders that are going to cause threat, they set a fire in the cafeteria. So constantly preoccupied that it's going to happen again. Constantly premeditating that this is going to happen is a problem. Fear of losing or discarding something important. Fear of losing or discarding something so important. Oh, my key. Oh, and sometimes even our children, we are so obsessed, and I'm one of those ones, obsessed with worrying about our kids, how they do, how they perform in life, how their outcome becomes. Sometimes we just have to let them be. Sometimes we do, and I will not lie to you, maybe I am too, when it comes to my kids, like obsessed with their outcome, worrying so much about how they turn out, worrying so much about their future, their college education and all that. I cannot force them to study. I have to learn that I don't have control over that, which I do put myself in check for that. If you don't want to study, I can do it for you. At times, sometimes I used to go out like 3-4 times a week to have fun with my kids, eat out. These days, sometimes I tell them to do that for you. I feel like you don't deserve it, unfortunately, because you have not given me what you have to give me. You saw me woke up, went to work, right? How about you? Did you do your work? Did you do it? You see? So sometimes we can take it easy on ourselves. The obsession and the desire and the passion for our kids to do well can become an obsession. Invalid argument, whatever that means. Yes. Argument, oh my God. And making it seem like you are the problem. They argue with you, featuring, sometimes I don't know how sometimes I want to say this in English, but I can't connect my dialect to the English, They argue with you with obsession because in their thoughts, the things they are thinking is true, is factual. And that part can also be personality component. Because sometimes when it comes to a person arguing with you and they are forcing their way on you, that is the personality component is in there. And that is very unhealthy. Take note of that. So did I put mine refuse to work. I've been subscribed for ages. No, I don't think you put to work. Maybe just go unsubscribe, Miss Grant. Unsubscribe and subscribe again. When you unsubscribe and then push the red button, let a few minutes go by and then subscribe again. And when you subscribe, you see the bell, the gray bell next to the gray subscription. Turn it, push it, and then choose the top one, all. So you get all notifications. Do that. I had OCD horribly, but I had to learn self-love and self-care. I was living in an subconscious mind and mindset, and this is unhealthy. Yes, because you are constantly obsessed and pre-consumed with it. So when you learn how to undo, how to replacement, self-love and self-care, that is the replacement habits. So instead of being pre-consumed with the thought, as a result, acting on the compulsion, you bring the compulsion into to justify the obsession for you. You replace that occupation with the thought with self-love and self-care habits. What will be your self-care habit? Instead of thinking and being constantly occupied with it, self-love, self-care habits. Let's go take a walk, find a work partner, do something. Let's go have fun at the pool. Do something healthy. Self-love and self-care, it's activities you can do to replace the compulsions. As a result, the obsession will be minimized. The thoughts, the false thoughts will be minimized. Yes, it can be. Glad you have overcome. Yes, Miss Denise, I'm so glad that you have worked around it. Very unhealthy. Sandra, tap on the notification. Okay. Senseless argument. Yes, senseless argument, people. And that when the senseless argument becomes part of the OCPD, that is more dangerous because these people will drain you. They are like narcissists. They will drain your energy because they are imposing their thoughts on you for you to believe what they think, what they are believing. That is not realistic and not healthy. Great. I'm glad you got to resolve that notification issue. I call that overprotective with our children rather than obsession. Overprotection, yes, but what I have will be more of overprotection, but it can become an obsession. You don't know how people are so obsessed with their kids. Trust me, it can become an obsession. It can become an obsession. So I agree. What I have right now can be like overprotection and desiring the best for them. But when it becomes stressful, where you are depressed about it, that can be an obsession. Because understand that you can study for them, you can make them study, you can pass exams for them. They have to do the work. So once you don't have control over it, you let it go. Once you don't have control over it, you take a break, take a deep breath, realign, and let it go for a minute. All right. So now we talk about the obsessions, right? Now, as a result of the obsessions, where are the compulsions? Compulsion are repetitive behavior, which I've said that already, or mental acts. That's what. Anyway, let me skip this, but we've been talking about that many times. Typical examples of compulsion, that's what I want to get to. Excessive or ritualized hand washing, ritualistic activities, hand washing, showering, constantly feeling like, I'm smelling. April, let's go bath. So constantly thinking you have to bath because, somebody's coming, you smell it, so you have to bath. Ritualistic hand washing, showering, brushing of your teeth, or what? Toileting. Oh, I had UTI. Well, this toilet is this. So constantly you spraying something on it so you can, before you sit on it, you spraying something on it so you can wash it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Ordering or arranging things in a particular way. You know why sometimes they talk about if you have people with OCD, also can be people with autistic disorders. The autistic kids or autistic people have ritualistic things that they do. They have to align linear activities. Everything must be linear, aligned in certain way. Understand when you have OCD, you can also, more likely than not, maybe 99% of the time, have other psychiatric disorders also. And if it's compounded with different other, then you know the symptoms can be more, bothersome and affecting your day-to-day life. You won't be happy. You understand? It can be very detrimental. Okay, you can just wait. When we finish the show, you can probably try it again. Repeatedly checking locks, doors. You get to your car, you come back. Get to your car, you come back to lock it, unlock it, check it, make sure your door is locked before you leave for the house. Switches or appliances. We talk about that all along. Constantly seeking approval or reassurance. And we're going to get example of that. Constantly seeking whatever was the name, reassurance. Constantly seeking approval from other people. Repeated counting or setting numbers. Listen, how is my hair? When you are confident in yourself, you don't worry. When somebody tells you look pretty, it's a compliment. You welcome it. It's an addition to who you are. But when you are constantly obsessed with somebody giving you approval, somebody giving you validation of how you look, what you've done, if it's right, and basically waiting on people to do that for you before you feel validated and move on in a healthy way with your life, it can become OCD. Like I'm saying, OCD comes in different forms. Your body type, what you like about your body, what you don't like about your body. If it affects your ability to not be able to go out and enjoy social activities, dress and go to work, dress and go meet up with your friends, even go on a date because a stranger will see how your stomach lives, then that's an obsession. Your body type, the way your body looks becomes a bother for your brain and preoccupied thinking of how people perceive that. That is concerning. And then as a result of the compulsion, then I don't want to go out, then self-esteem becomes an issue, self-confidence becomes an issue. How would you be healthy, my brother, my sister? Treatment. Patients with OCD who receive appropriate treatment commonly experience an improved quality of life and improved functioning. Because all this obsession and unhealthy perceptions, altered perceptions, affect your functionality, your ability to function and live a healthy, happy, normal life. Treatment may improve an individual's ability to function at school, at work, develop and enjoy relationships, and pursue leisure activities. And these are true. This can affect your ability to enjoy leisure, your ability people are looking at me, people are looking at me, people are looking at me. Parental alienation, psychological grooming can affect kids to have these things. When I tell you these things can be realistic, trust me, they are real. So how do you resolve this? Desist from all these childhood adverse effects. You have things that are going on, and it's because of the child's or the husband's foundation, their background. All they ever grew up knowing is violence. How do you think they are going to behave towards you? All they ever know is doing violence. How can a man be so abusive, yet they go to work? Like the other instance I explained last week, they go to work and come and put their whole salary in their wife's hand to take it to and make sure the bills are paid. Because that's all they know. All they know is to be a man and pay the bills. However, also they saw the person paying the bills when they are growing up as authority figure who abused their mom, abused everybody else, and feel like that's the normal way of life. That doesn't make your husband a bad person. It only says that he need help to undo this perception, this understanding, this nurturing, this foundational grooming that is not the way of life. Miss Eppa, you saying all this now. I can see why people can become obsessed with people online they don't know. Yes, as they are easy targets to project at. Yes. Think about it. I had a friend who could not walk past a mirror without looking at herself. Do you see what I'm saying? Obsession can come in different ways. As a result, they have to do what? Do the act. Looking in the mirror is the compulsion. Think about it. Why would you have mirror sitting in your office? So when you have a meeting, you constantly have to go and stand in the mirror. Hey, that is illness. That is illness. I understand first impressions count and your dressing and all that, but seriously, one can be free for a minute in their life. Every day finishing, dress up, makeup, kuntai. For what? I was beaten a lot as a child. Oh, I'm so sorry. And these are the things, what I'm talking about. These are the things. So you are constantly preoccupied. You can't trust. You're always, this is all you know. How would a girl child, identify healthy relationships and not fall in the hands of an abusive man? Because all they ever know is violence. I started counting every step when I went to the store or everywhere because he's worried, right? Looking on the shoulder, who else is there? Who is my abuser? There is some, you see? I'm so sorry, Miss Caroline. It was my way of dealing with a trauma. When I moved out of home, it stopped. Sometimes it just takes you from separating from the abusive situation, separating from your victimizers, separating from the perpetrator. But again, you can't say, and I can tell you for this for a fact, sometimes you can get triggers, even though you have separated and you're living alone and now you feel like everything is okay. Triggers that's happen. Things can trigger it. So what are you doing constantly? She mentioned self-care, self-love activities to replace it so you don't get relapse. Research is showing that with good treatment, OCD can be in remission. OCD, I always thought it's just manageable and you should learn coping strategies like Miss Caroline and Caroline I think said, or just somebody said here, we can self-love, self-care activities, right? But I was reading a research that said that OCD can actually be in remission. So it being in remission pretty much means that you are practicing this self-care, self-love activities constantly. And if it's in remission and you are doing well with the behavior modification things you put in place. You want to talk to me? He's done. Okay, good. So it's 76%. That's great. Put it back on the charger. I really didn't thought we would still be here after nearly 1.5 hours, but here. You see that? So it can be in remission and you can get off medication, but dependent on you constantly doing the work required. Can checking the closets, the behind a shower curtain and under the bed after returning to home, is that considered a disorder? It depends. If you don't do it, does it cause you distress? What triggers you to do that? Are you searching for something specific that, oh, something is harmful there, an animal is there? Depending on the reason you are doing that, that is what is going to make it. And do you get scared? Like, if you don't do that, are you okay? Or must you do it? That is the difference. It becomes a disorder when, if you don't do it, it's causing you distress. You must do it in order for you to still fine, to stay okay. You understand? You must do it to feel the relief. You must do, that is the behavior part, the compulsion part. So if you don't do it, do you get distressed? Do you get panic attacks? Do you feel scared? Then it is a distress, it is a disorder. Yes, that is paranoia. Yes, it is paranoia, depending if it's causing a distress. Yes. So when you have paranoia that something is going on, the paranoia part is the obsession part. And then you checking is the compulsion part. So what happens if you don't check it? Depending on that, then it's a disorder. But if you just checking for checking, say, why are you doing it? So yes, it is a disorder depending on if you don't do it, is it causing you distress? If you don't do it, are you okay? If you don't do it and you are okay, then it's not. But if you don't do it and you feel uneasy and you get stressed up about it and have anxiety, then yes, it's a distress. I have an excellent psychotherapist. Nice. Nice. Without a good psychotherapist, you can't overcome these conditions. You can't. I double check my door when I'm leaving. If you don't double check it, do you get worried? You double check and it's a routine. If it's different if it's a routine. It's different if it's a routine. But if it causes you distress when you don't check it, the day you forgot to check it and you leave, you get panic attacks, you get anxious about it, and you feel like you need to return to come and check for it, whatever you trying to put in order before you leave, the safety issue is resolved, then it's a distress. It can be triggered and can heighten emotional response. Absolutely. I'm so happy for you, Caroline, because these things, it means Caroline is in remission. So she deals with it from preventing it from coming out by constantly practicing self-care and self-love activities. I am so proud of you. I will finish watching later. I just get into work. Okay, Miss Johnson. Do have to come off the live. Good evening. Good evening. Have a wonderful time at work. Go, don't work too hard, Don't be like Apple. Apple work too hard. Oh, some also mine is routine. Yes, if it's routine, it's not an issue. If it's routine, it's not a disorder. It's a disorder when if you don't do it, it triggers an uneasy, an unpleasant feeling. You spend, remember the criteria, you must be spending at least 1 hour a day with this obsession. The thought, you deal with it and react to it, go back to do the compulsive activities that triggers you. Or yours is just a routine. It's not causing you, it's nothing like, oh, you are terrified, something is there and you must check, that is causing you that. And when you don't check, you don't feel stressed up about it, or you don't feel like anything is going on. Then it's a routine. It's nothing, it's not a disorder. I used to do it as a child. My brother put daddy long legs in my bed. I had to check every time I went into my room for a long time. So sorry about this, that Sandra. Yes, I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, but there are strategies to overcome. There are strategies to overcome. Right now, ask yourself, are these realistic? Is this still a thing? Is this happening right now? You see how you can help yourself? Start to undo, find replacement things. The thought will come. But ask, question yourself, is this even a thing? Is it realistic? What, how many years is it? Is my daddy long leg, whatever, is it still in my bed? Is that even, think about it. I'm very sorry, Miss Sandra. I do it. I'm not obsessed, but I can't go to sleep until I check to make sure nobody is in the house with me. Yeah, I think it's a routine. It's just a safety measure to check and see if, Trinidad in the house. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Miss Linda, I think it's more of a routine for you and Miss Jacqueline. I think it's a routine. Just it's okay to make sure it's safe versus, are you worried and scared as you are going? Are you peeping? And no, I don't think it's premeditation and you are preoccupied. When you are sleeping or when you are awake, do you get worried? Do you wake up in the middle of the night terrified that somebody could be there behind these things? You see what I'm saying? So I would say it's a routine. I wouldn't say it's a healthy routine to make sure your locks and so are locked before you go to bed. But is it honestly? I would see it as more of a routine because it's not causing a distress at this point. Okay. So cognitive behavior therapy, that is one of the things you do. Okay. Known as one effective treatment is a type of cognitive therapy known as exposure and response prevention therapy. Exposure and response prevention therapy. Remember when we talk about OCD, you're also looking at like phobias. So exposure therapy is one of the most healthy ones, most effective ones. But cognitive behavior therapy is key. And understand we have different types of cognitive behavior therapy. Exposure therapy is one of them. You say exposure and response prevention is a key. It is one of the methods. During treatment sessions, patients are exposed to feared situations. What are you scared of? So in this case, there is no phobia. In this case, there's a thought that the house is burning. There's a thought that the oven. So you see, the therapist will work with you to kind of form a more realistic perception of the situation. You understand? So you get to realize that really it's not even that bad. It's not even that serious. The house is really not burning. I really did not even do this. And to help cater for that is what I explained, that make use of friends, support systems to remind you so that you are not occupied thinking on the way out, knowing that you had somebody that affirmed with you, confirmed that, oh, you okay, the house is safe, you went, you locked the door, iron is not on, stove is not on. So you are confidently leaving the house knowing it's not on. That happened to me before. I'm home with my bank card and someone is taking money from my account. Okay. Yeah, it all depends on how that works. Oh, I think you are now joining, so you are watching from where we're talking about the lady. Okay. People can still take money out of your account without them having your bank card. You can have your bank card these days, it means nothing. You know that. So yeah, not doing exposure therapy with worms and snakes. I am gonna do one with you. Miss Caroline, I'm gonna do exposure therapy with all of you. We're gonna find worms and snakes, and we're gonna find lizards too. Gosh, I can imagine how I'll be able to come close in contact with. You know how people do these pranks on Facebook and social media with snakes in the middle of their food, plastic snakes and cockroaches. Like how? I would not eat again for the rest of the. Like how? People are brave men. We didn't know in those days, but it took years to get over it. Yes, I was better after my dad took everything out and redecorated new carpets and curtains, and we cleaned everything down before put back. Okay, I'm glad that happened, because seriously, yes, Miss Caroline, listen, I can't even come close to that thought, let alone touching that plastic snake. And people will put in their spouse's food. How? Anyway, listen, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. But in terms of exposure therapy, I'm coming at you with that. We're going to do that. I'll see how people respond, how you deal with that. Yeah. So you see, initially leading to, okay, during treatment sessions, patients are exposed to feared situations or images that focus on their obsessions. And this is really, I'm looking at this as more of a phobia, specific phobias, treatment for specific phobias, initially leading to increased anxiety. Okay. Patients are instructed to avoid performing their usual compulsive behaviors like cleanliness, washing their hands, going back to lock the door, going back to check the oven, going back to check. So they will, as the sign you feel that way, they will prevent you from doing it. So majority of this really it's your support system that will help you do it. It's not the therapy. The therapist will only tell you. So as the thoughts come, your support system on the way, they can instruct you that on your way driving and the thoughts come and you feel like going back to the house. Your support system can call someone else to check for you, but tell you to go, continue living. You have to deal with this obsession so you can overcome it. So you get to believe that really it wasn't burning. Really, it's my brain that is deceiving me. It's my thoughts. You see how it goes? Yeah. By staying in a feared situation without anything terrible happening. Yes. So now that you went to work and you didn't go back to the house, did the house burn? No. So that is how you get to overcome it. So exposure therapy is what is done. Is done with this. By staying, terrified, anything terrible happen. No. Patterns learned that their fearful thoughts are just thoughts rather than reality. And this is what you learn in therapy. So you get to make you sure the uncomfortable feeling you have that, yeah, I'm panicky, I'm having anxiety, I need to go and do this. They prevent you from doing the acting on the compulsion. As a result, you become okay. No, I don't wake up afraid once I'll check it. Yes, so it's a routine. It's not an obsession. No, it's not an OCD, Miss Linda. You have OCD. Me myself going to work with you. You know that. No, you don't. You don't have OCD. It's a routine. You and Miss Jacqueline, I think it's just a routine. Yeah. People have fear of the dark. All those things. So this is what they do. You have fear of the dark. The obsession of that there's somebody ghost is coming. There's something going to happen to you. You are panic. You are hyperventilating. Guess what? They're going to make somebody stay in the dark with you and close the door a few times a week to help you overcome that fear, that anxiety, that obsession. Okay. Okay. You see, people learn that they can cope with their obsessions without relying on ritualistic behaviors, and their anxiety decreases over time. Using evidence-based guidelines, therapists and patients typically collaborate, which is what is done. Therapists can impose treatment on you. You have to collaborate with your therapist and everybody else to develop an exposure plan that gradually moves from lower anxiety situations to higher anxiety situations. You understand? So they won't start it all at once. Otherwise, you're going to faint, right, and pass out on us. So they introduce you small, bit by bit. With week one, this is our goal. We collaborate with you. This is our goal this week. Who is going to help us when the therapist is not there? This is your homework. How is it going to work? You come back next week, we review the plan. So this week we are going to a little bit better of a more higher level of anxiety exposure treatment. So now we're going to, instead of being in the dark in the hallway, whereby there is light downstairs, so you are in the dark here, but you see light down there. Now, next week two, you're going to get to a place where the bathroom, there's light in the bathroom door is closed, the whole room is dark. Next minute, you're going to be in the closet with every place dark, right? So it's week by week by week. Sometimes it takes 6 weeks or 12 weeks sessions of treatment plan to get that over with. Okay. Exposures are performed both in treatment sessions and at home. See, yes, to me, I think that treatment session is to set the plan up and then teach you what you should do. But mainly the treatment takes place at home with your support system, somebody guiding you, reminding you, being there and helping you. It's in ensuring you do it, because if you don't do it, then you'll be coming to therapy all the time complaining that it's not effective. But you have to really act on the plan. The plan that has been put in place collaboratively between you and your therapist, you have to work on it, practice it, make sure you are doing it. Some people with OCD, especially those with limited insights into their illnesses, may not agree to participate in the CBT, in the cognitive behavior therapy, because of the initial anxiety it evokes. So they say insight, you have limited insight in the condition. Why? You see how Miss Caroline has in-depth insight in OCD and in her condition? Because she has learned, she has informed herself, she has acquired knowledge on the condition. That is how you gain insights to the condition and makes treatment also compliance increase. Your ability to comply with treatment and strategies that is being discussed or put in place by you and your therapist, you're going to be more compliant. As a result, your outcome will be great. You can have yours in remission like Miss Caroline, but constantly just actively taking part, making sure you're making use of your self-care, self-love activities to make sure you stay healthy and you don't get it back out from remission. You don't get it triggered. Okay, trauma can trigger it. It's in remission. You find yourself in a love triangle where the love situation is causing you to not trust, become paranoid, to trigger all the past things that are associated with this. It can come out of remission. It can be triggered. So all these things are things. So you having insight, learning more about the condition, which is why EPA is here. Learning more about it and making sure you take action to help yourself to do what you need to do. If I do this, it can trigger me. If I do that, oh, Facebook is becoming draining these days. Let me log out of Facebook. Let me stay out of triggering activities. So you have to learn your triggers. Everybody's trigger is different. You can have OCD, I can have OCD, but the triggering factors can be so different. It's independent of the person. It's individual difference. So what triggers me can now be the same. You know what triggers you, your family dynamics, your friend dynamics, your work, whatever stresses are in your life. Those are the triggering factors and components. And here we go with medications. So medication, I was telling you earlier that the medication that used to be used is TCI. Now, what they do mostly is what? SSRIs, which is what? The serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors typically are used to treat depression. These are typically used to treat depression, anxiety also, but can also be effective in the treatment of OCD. The SSRI dosage used to treat OCD, pay attention to this one, is commonly higher than that used to treat depression. Patients who do not respond to SSRI medications sometimes respond to other psychiatric medications can also be effective. Sometimes Abilify, we have different medications, but SSRIs. Wellbutrin is another medication that I feel like helps also with the anxiety and the mood and the behavior. Because you know what Wellbutrin that if you have a history to addiction, Wellbutrin helps. Wellbutrin will help to suppress the desire, the craving. So the obsession, go and drink, go and smoke, go and drink. Wellbutrin is suppressing that. So, you know, it's different medications. Really, the doctor has to review with you. So my purpose here is to raise awareness so you get to get insight. You get to now live here and research more into the condition if you think. But understand that there is something also called routines. Routines are things we put in place for checks and balances to make us a little healthier. Bookie, I feel like treating you to something. You can go and buy McDonald's or something if you want. Okay? You can go and buy McDonald's. Okay? All right, get my card. Caregiver interventions. Okay. So we talk about that. Patients with mild to moderate OCD symptoms are typically treated with what? Either CBT or medication, depending on the patient's preference. The patient's cognitive, like last 2 months, I saw this patient. This patient I was saying, she thought she's thinking she has PTSD, but she doesn't really. It's anxiety and some kind of depression. She wasn't ready to take medication. She didn't think she wanted to, all the medications I suggested. She wanted something minimal. So I just gave him Bistro. And she came back and she said, I think I'm in denial. So I think the medication you were suggesting, I want to try it. So last month we put her on that. So I will follow up with her in a month and see how it goes. You know, because when you start an SSRI, it takes at least 6 to 8 weeks or maybe 12 weeks to start seeing effect. All right. Where is the, I just took my American Express card out here. See if it's in the pocket. The gray one, I have Macy's on it.
It was right.
It was, I put it in the bag. Here, here. Yeah. Buy fries for me, but no salt. You cannot spend more than $20. $20 is even too much. You cannot spend more than $12. 12. Just buy yourself something. Yes, dialectical behavior therapy. I was thinking about that too. But dialectical behavior therapy is for what? PTSD though. It's not necessarily for, you can try and use it, but the dialectical behavior therapy is for PTSD. DMDR. Spouse is starting RODBT. Oh, dialectical behavior therapy this week. Nice. Nice. Okay, that will help them though. You are starting, check the doors and windows too. Okay, yeah. DBT is actually a good therapy. Yes, dialectical behavior therapy. Do you know the mother of dialectical behavior therapy? You guys are making me go back. You want us to, well, I think some of these days we should do therapy too. I will tell you the different types of therapy that are there, so that if you go to see your care provider, you can ask them also which one could probably, Okay, we are done really. Caregiver interventions. In people with OCD who live with family or caregivers, and enlisting the support of caregivers to help with exposure practice at home is recommended. I've said that a lot on this video. Yes, very, very important. Caregiver interventions. Without the caregiver, this treatment won't work. You will not overcome it, because really, the therapist will not be there to practice the exposure with you. It's your caregivers, your family members, your loved ones, your support system, which is why in mental health, for somebody to really strive and overcome, it is highly dependent also on how much support system they have. All right. Maintaining self-care, maintaining a healthy lifestyle can help in coping with OCD. Also, using basic relaxation techniques such as meditation, yoga, visualization, and massage can help ease the stress and anxiety caused by OCD. And this is so factual, because these are the replacement activities. Whilst your brain is consumed, premeditated, focus on these things, instantaneously swing into a meditation mode, swing into relaxation therapy, put on that candle, start putting essence around, start the essential oil, start burning them, and start inhaling. You will see how the atmosphere changes. You see how your brain begins to relax. Think about it. And Dr. Masha, I don't know much about that one. I know Dr. Ramni. I've been, sometimes when I have time, I watch Med Circle. Yeah. So we are done. So neurosurgical treatment. There are some, how people have chronic depression and it doesn't go away. This can happen too with this kind of situation. So related conditions that can affect, somebody with OCD can have, is body dysmorphic disorder, which is a topic that has been on my mind so long, since Blessing CEO did her surgery and everybody is talking. I really want to treat this topic for a very long time now. Even the tab is open. I haven't opened it yet. Hoarding disorder is also a disorder that can be associated with OCD. Hair pulling disorder, trichotillomania, and then skin picking disorder, excoriation disorder. All these things can be associated with. So neurosurgical treatments, deep brain stimulation, anterior anterior capsulotomy. These are all things that are done with magnetic gadgets, magnetic reasoning, like they put leads on your brain, certain points of your brain, certain points of your body to do these treatments. And I understand that they are very effective, but I don't know, I haven't seen anybody that does them to tell me, but research proved that these are very effective treatment options for people that are non-compliant to medication but has this disturbing their day-to-day life. In refractory cases, yes, patients in refractory cases, deep brain stimulation has gained popularity in treating people with severe OCD that is not responding to other treatments. The reason why insurance, these are normally paid by yourself. If insurance opt to pay for this, you are lucky, and there must be proof that all the efforts to treat you proved non-effective in order for this to be approved by the doctor, by your insurance company. Yes, and that is the end of an effective day. Love you guys, Apple lovers who came to the Psycho Ed class. God bless you all. I appreciate you. I cannot imagine doing this without you. So you see, stimulate your brain with replacement activities, meditation, yoga activities. It all starts with you identifying this is the problem, you accepting this is the problem, and then telling yourself, is this realistic? Finding someone that will help you do this exposure, and after 1 or 2 attempts, oh really? Well, I didn't go back home, but the house didn't bend too after all. So really, it was just my brain that was deceiving me. You see how you can overcome. Support system is key. Replacement activities is key. And understand you can support us. Send us stars here. EPA Worldwide on YouTube also is monetized. I just abandoned it for the love you guys showed me on Facebook, and I don't come here. But yes, we are monetized here, and I'm encouraging you to send us a token as you can in your abilities. It's not compulsory, but if you wish to, we will appreciate it. It supports me to devote my time to come here always. It supports me to buy equipment, which right now we do need. I've been talking about it for 2 months now. We do need. I wanted to get this equipment, but then the money went into consulting with a lawyer for that girl, which is still unprocessed. And there's a lot of money now after the consultation. I still have to pay thousands of dollars to sign a retainer for them to take action. We're working on it. Yes. So people, when I say I need your support, I truly do. Yes. So we can stay on this platform, this space, and helping people, empowering people. Thank you so much, Miss Caroline, for sharing. That was so much you shared, and I appreciate you. It helps somebody. It affirms and validates what I'm saying, that it does go in remission depending on you, your effort, your dedication, and your determination, and your commitment to treatment, and desiring it to go in remission and remain there. What are you doing to keep it there? Self-care, self-love activities, meditation. We saw a lot here today. We read a lot here today that you can do. Doing yoga, finding a support system, family support, friendships that will help you overcome and do extremely well with your treatment journey. Thank you so much for joining us, all of you. Right now we have 23 people. I love you all, and I appreciate your connection. After this, you can also go and comment with anything. Ask me a question. Next week, in fact, we are going to do the comparison of OCD and OCPD. Let me see if I can set it up right now. What did the boy do with my other phone? He brought it to me. I thought, oh my goodness. Even if we live here, did he go with my phone? Okay, let me write it, but I'm sure I'm going to make sure that's what we do next week. Usually people say things and I postpone, but no, it will make more sense if we do it right away. OCD versus OCPD next Sunday. If you are here, you are lucky. You already know the topic. Until next week, I appreciate you. Let's head on to Facebook. My son is, I'm thinking he left with, I don't know why. He brought it to me when he was done with his uncle. I don't know. But we need that to go on Facebook. I didn't get up to. Oh, Lord. Oh, actually, he put it on the charger for me. That's what he did. Okay, so now we can go to Facebook and start. I don't know if the tablet is okay. Good. The tablet is 97% now. We can go and do. We do the ladies topic first, and then do the yeah. If you don't come to YouTube to support me, and I show up on Facebook, don't come and redirect the focus, people. Don't do that. My page is for psychoeducation, empowering people, victims, advocating against violence for victims, but we can't make it always specific about people. We can't be doing that. That shifts the focus of me. How about me? That means you're not thinking about me, you're being selfish. So I appreciate you guys, those who come to Instagram and YouTube. I really, really appreciate you people. Without you guys, the mission will be vanished. Yeah, I can see, but trust me, we are gonna do it. We are gonna do it. Okay. Okay. I'll set it up. But we know we have a topic for next week already. Okay, let's start going to, let's see if this is on now. Is this on? Let's see. You see, let me say something. Let me see if I can copy. If I can copy the title from the video we did earlier. Yeah. Copy. Great. Okay. So let me start so that I will just go in. We are live on Facebook. Thank you so much for those who came here. Thank you, Epa. I can share next week on live with someone with OCPD. That would be great. I think I can send you the link and you just click on it to join it. I will see how that works. Miss Jai finally showed up. My home office is a mess and I do it on purpose for sanity. My late husband was an alarming OCD. See, that is a therapy right there. So she's doing exposure, doing it to annoy him and increase the anxiety. As a result, they become comfortable with it. You see how it goes? Thank you for sharing that, Miss Jai. Everything had to be pristine at all times. Is that mine or yours?
This is mine.
And this?
Yeah, yours.
Huh?
Yours.
If I mine?
Yeah.
Do you buy me anything else? How can you buy only 5? I don't like salt. But there's salt on it.
Wait, check the other one, because I told her to not piss off.
Okay. Did you take any sauce at all? Did you take any sauce? Did you take any sauce? How can you not take any sauce? What I'm doing is not good. Get me here. Hmm? So you want to have it and you go get one? I'll get that.
Actually, you can just have it. I won't go back to the store.
Huh?
I won't go back to the store.
Why?
I don't want to.
So you don't want this?
No.
Take it. It's only on one side.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Sorry, guys. We have to leave here. Miss Jai, what you shared was so important. You should have come at the beginning. Next time, come early. We are leaving here. We're going to Facebook. I will join later on Facebook. Oh, I know, Miss Linda. We'll talk. I miss you, though. We have to talk privately. Miss Eppa, you can stop this live. Yes. Okay, people. Let's leave here. I don't like it to be unprofessional, like showing the food and all that. I don't like it on YouTube. This is my professional page. So we're leaving YouTube now. Thank you all that came to support. Let's go to Facebook.